believed it.
Perfect place for Crew to be spent jungling here between the Ancients and the other camps, and then in case when the pressure is actually, when there's a good opportunity between what Sumail and Call are doing, he can show up just in the last game, except the difference is it's a Brood instead of a Ember Spirit. So EG's doing a great job like fitting these templates of how they want to play the game into these different drafts. It's looking pretty cool.
They're looking for answer items now, Team Liquid. The Lotus Orb with a quick bump to mind control. You have a Desolator for Miracle, so this could be either potentially Roshan, or they just want to have that extra cheap damage you can get into a Life Stealer.
He's the scary one for Liquid side for sure. I mean, the Radiance on Omni is great, but what EG all the towers that are left for Liquid are on the top lane primarily, so this would be a good place for EG to push in the future, but for now they haven't really been able to commit to it, and we'll see how it lines up with the Brood strategy. It's one of the negatives of losing their tier 2 mid is that if you force Brood to fight in a different lane than he's comfortable with, then he loses some of that setup time, and it could really limit his mobility and his efficiency in between the fights. And yeah, he's prepping for Roche, trying to put webs in the right place.
Yep. He knows what Liquid need. Like, yeah, you take out the tier 2 tower. If Liquid grab the Aegis, yeah, they could take the bottom outer towers as well as that last tier 2 on top, but they could also just barrel down mid before EG is really ready to fight them. Because that BKB is still on the way for our team. Just yet either.
I think EG's relatively content with their position now, though. They're slightly behind. Keeper of the Light's got Axe. But I still wouldn't count out Liquid in any way. GH is actually insanely farmed this game. He's got a Force and a Medallion. And Bane's got enough levels to be really relevant. And Omni-Knight's just getting tankier. He's got a Plate Mail. He's almost finishing his Lotus Orb, which means that silence is not going to be a deal. If you take her on the right hero, you can counter Static Link entirely, and then the whole Razor versus Lightblade advantage is kind of countered.
Crit, well, puts down the TP. And he'll TP out in time as well.
Got to skip it.
Yep, the Miracle's got to work on. It's going to work with mind control. What we talked about before, EG are prepared, they've got the webs
Radiant's
down.
top tower is under attack.
The sentry of Liquid catching it out. Trade-off could potentially be bottom. That's level 3 Necrobox for Beastmaster and Keeper of the Light to hold more. Having that active sector, it is a nighttime push, however, so it's not as powerful as the tower is under attack. They're going to do this quickly. Roshan is about to fall. One extensive, they're not building fortification at all. And now EG will pull back the units. They get 2/3, if not 3/4 worth of damage onto that bottom tower. And so he's here for the Raw, able to get it off. There was no rage. The armor is turned on the finger. They'll burn the Aegis, the Immortal. The Great Waves are gone. Mind control will arrive. But EG, heavy damage, distraction, and burn the Aegis. Not too shabby.
Yeah, it was a really good feedback. Again, they're scared to commit. Maybe not scared is not the right word. They're not ready to commit. Giving an Aegis trade like that kind of just offsets at least the next few minutes of obnoxious advantage that Liquid might have. Because if they have to deal with Static Link and killing each person, it could be really countered by the Aegis. So now Liquid has to go back to going for picks and trying to counteract the EG split push.
Yep. How do they actually get picks with that lineup? Like, is it just mind control running at him, hitting him with the degen aura? Because there's no Eul set to build on the ET, so there's no Euls into Stomp. The Bane Fiend's Grip is kind of the only thing, but Kura is never going to afford like a Blink Dagger. Yeah,
and him getting something like a Glimmer could definitely help, but it's still hard. Right? It's difficult for them to catch heroes like Broodmother. The map control and the offensive pressure that EG has is a little bit harder, so Liquid does want to gank, but they kind of have to still be reliant on smart movements and allies, basically. So dewarping the map would be really good. Gems, things like that. If they could make sure their opponents don't have wards, if they have better vision, then they can pick and choose their fights better and make it a little bit worse than the shield.
Matumba just trying to clean up some of these spiders.
I don't even know forward.
Level 3 Gale only, but with the extra damage amplification of the Veil, it's a little bit nicer. There's that Lotus Orb done now for mind control, so they have an answer to the Orchid. But they don't have an answer to bottom. The Veil as well as Misery attack again.
Tower is
So you've got
under
the Illusion spam, you've got the Saturn Hell Blaster, and by the time this TP is completed, Miracle can at least pop out with the Infest to kill a little bit of this off, but they still take more damage. kill a ball.
Well, trading
Radiant's top tower's bottom tower has fallen.
That's very good that Liquid's playing around the bottom lane a lot. Since that tower got so low early, they've been doing a good job keeping that lane pushed out and make sure there's no threat of losing their tier 3 early on. But EG's still posturing. They've got a pretty good position right now and potentially getting a kill mid, but Mind Control can just pop Lotus Orb if he gets Orchided, so it's got to be Disables and Orchid. It requires a lot of hero resources, and it's harder for those heroes to jump on
top tower is under attack.
It's going to be able to see where they are and if they're missing.
Tense situation for any kind of gank. Vision game has been probably the more critical thing we've seen of late. That's why the Observer wards for Team Liquid were around the shrine. They would know just how many resources EG would commit. And it's like Mind Control just been given a license. Anyone he could find. Mid lane stun, there won't be a follow-up to this. Kurt will be able to survive, but it is a reveal to Blink. They see Roshanna, they're going to go in for it. Now, second Roshan, EG, not webbing around the pit.
EG has on their terms, and ideally ganks. It has to be disables. That's why it's so hard to play against an Omni too.
Those fires are trying to get down to the pit, there's no web, so they can't get to passing. They get stuck up around golems and Cheese in the backpack of Mind Control. Miracle is the man to claim the Aegis Immortal in his defense time. Top lane's pushed in too hard. So is the bottom lane, and this is something EG's been very proficient at. Both the top and the bot lane is always being pushed in. Sumail has been the man targeting the bottom. Coddle and Razor up on top.
Even more degen grab by Omni Knight now. It's like 46% slow to any hero in melee range, and he's got SMY, so this guy's super fast.
Yeah, they got the Sumail's TP is just high enough away. He doesn't get affected, but the nightmare. That's it. That's a nice pickup. That global power maybe coming out from EG. And you're right, the Gem of True Sight now in the hands of the Lifestealer. It's problematic for the Shadowblade carrier Sumail.
If that was just lying, no problem at all for EG. Good trade again. They're doing a great job ganking him as soon as he ends up getting into Aegis.
Okay, I think GH just took about 300 gold from one spirit.
Those poor spiders.
Poor spiders.
Other time's actually so good against spiders. They have high magic resistance, and you can reduce it to 0. So if he gets the stomp off, that's a dead group.
EG's adding pressure again towards the top.
He's got it now, especially with Gem missing.
This is stopping the easy push down mid.
It is daytime for 4 minutes though, so it's the worst position for EG to be in. But Curl grabbing that ball, so it's certainly
up out of here. Arteezy can still potentially find. He's already used the 4-star. 4 heroes from EG. Come to the mid, keep with the light, TPing out towards the shrine, so we can recall and try and catch him off the pass, but not going to happen instead. The backup.
Feel slow to stick to big there, they can actually commit.
Look how Lifestealer invests into ET. Like he's been using the Blink Dagger of Metalliman as the delivery service.
This was a defensive one. He's like, I don't want to be disabled right now, so I'm just gonna take an unexpected ride.
Well, ET's very, I suppose you take the ride in when he hits so many heroes, so many units. Like that makes it his buff up on GH. Metalliman jumps in with a Shiva's Guard, trying to slow him in. Plus 342 damage on GH.
Oh my god.
535 movement speed. This is where they've got to be careful.
I mean, he's using this turtle kind of position right now. It all kind of started with the card on the line being killed. They just have the really strong map control. It's going to take EG to get control again, and it might just be without a Rax.
Yeah, it may be. Miracle just beats it down. Fortification will try to slow things up. The front lines, the Shiva's Guard from the top. Miracle too. Like he is protected as they take this round. EG has no answer. They have no desire to answer either. Arteezy was still on the bottom lane. They were not going to be fighting this.
It's just so hard to fight an Omni Knight, especially with Lifestealer. EG used it last game, and they have Repel. So it's an even tankier, harder to kill Lifestealer. And their teamfight initiation is not the strongest in terms of an AoE. Man, look at that stomp. He saw the smoke, dude. His spirit, he saw the animation. What a crazy play. And the smoke is essentially fully confirmed. They know EG's crossing the map, so they're just going to sit back for a bit, avoid that one. On the bright side for EG, this gives them the opportunity to cross the map for the first time in what feels like 5 minutes, so maybe the game will go a bit equal, but they've lost a lot of network advantage in this small bit of time where they got that Aegis kill originally.
They need some kind of initiation. Maybe they do what they do with that TD. Just use static link on illusion. Starting to fight a 280 damage plus would be nice.
He doesn't even attack that fast though.
It's kind of the same buff he's able to claim.
Good point. One is a range hero though.
Butterfly pick up.
They might fight here.
They should jump forward. They know observers and sentries are out. Maybe you can attack for needs to retreat. She is available. But Arteezy, he's got a full damage deal once again. Miracle was at negative 280. He was doing nothing in that fight.
I'm actually so surprised EG even started getting kills there. Looking at the worst possible situation. They initiated, they used all their disables, and then the person that they went on ended up getting healed and saved. I thought the fight was over right there.
Yep. I kind of want to watch it again just so we can see like how it all went horribly wrong for Liquid. And it is horribly wrong. That's an experience swing to go. It's a 3-for-3 trade-off, but when you're this far, but yeah, you've still got teams available. So there's at least fear burning off the extra additions from Roshan.
Alright, here comes the team fight. Yeah. Initiate over here. They jump on the Dynamax. This would have been a giant kill, but the Lotus Orb, their Hell, the Guardian Angel, cost everything for them to save them. In the meantime, Arteezy still had all of this damage from Lifestealer, so Lifestealer wasn't dealing any damage either. And once the BKBs are popped, that means it's just Venomancer ulti. But that doesn't damage any of the important heroes, so they actually were able to out-team fight them just because Arteezy stole so much damage from Lifestealer, who is the big damage dealer on Liquid's side.
Yeah, that's what you see on the screen. I tried, but there's nothing I could do. He was at a point of giving life with every single swing.
And finally buying the item that would give him the solution without need of allies, it's the Linkens. I thought I was going to get grabbed here for sure.
Yep. They get back up, they'll lose the extra creep from the Beastmaster on the bot lane.
Pretty bad
Team Liquid, do you just go up?
I mean, Liquid's here already, right? The whole team is here, the creep wave is pushed down the mid lane, top lane is slightly vulnerable, but not in that bad of a situation. It's time to build it.
You risk this wonderful start, I think you're buying up behind this fight. No buying back. Starts the fight, getting him on. A decent ultimate. Actually, no. It only got through. They needed to get home.
Dyer's bottom tower has fallen.
They're forcing the issue. Fortification, no doubt of evil genius.
Dyer's bottom barracks have fallen.
They know there's no fight to be had here. Team Liquid, second laner goes down.
And a very small mistake with Coddle getting caught there completely leads into this. If they had people the light to blast this wave, if it was daytime, they would have been able to maybe hold that off. But a second set of racks falling at 38 minutes and a 15k gold deficit is really hard to play against. But EG does have good hero matchups with stealing damage from Lifestealer, but it's even harder now with his Linken's finished. So, tough game.
You could also see the priority, like Matumberman as well as GH. The second they realized what was happening with Miracle, they forced after. They got him the hell out of there. Then if Samel wants to do the same type of thing, he's rotating around the top. Does not have friends nearby. Keep with the lights further up the lanes. They would need Miracle to go for the next wave, and Samel to then just shadow blade right now and get him behind him. Very difficult task as GH is sitting up there killing off an observer ward. So they know there's no easy line to these cores.
He really wishes that was there, because getting any kill on the support right now would be amazing. He can also still split push the wave, which is an advantage, of course, is what Coddle's doing as well. Blasting the wave with an ability, if your opponents aren't watching the minimap or looking with their eyes, it might not spot it. So these kinds of split pushes are a huge advantage. If anything, if that creeps in the mid lane, maybe they could kill the bot tower if they get past the tower a little bit. Very hard right now. Liquid's grouping up as 5. They're going to go for the last racks, and EG's got to defend this.
Yep. It can all come down to this defense. You're so far behind, you don't want to fight. That's against 7. is this the final game? Single elimination matchup is what we're looking at. With the loser of this
Radiant
game.
structures are fortified.
Sticks around, watches the rest of the days of play. ET Stomp. Can't pay up to no follow-up. Miracle just focusing on the objective phase gaming.
Dire's
They
top
want that
tower
tier 3
has
tower gone, and they
fallen.
get it. He is ready to wrap around the side. They're keeping a very, very close eye.
Yeah, it's so hard for EG to defend against this. Especially at nighttime. If they have day, at least they can see all their heroes, they can pick good team fights, but because they're very disable heavy, it all comes down to their initiations.
Liquid 20 before they go in. They know Roshan can spawn up shortly. He's just under 2 minutes, about 1 minute 40 before he can spawn. But also the crew is heading back to base to finish McCumberland's Aghanim set.